I just picked up this gorgeous asparagus from the Madison Farmers Market, and today we're turning it into 3 amazing dishes. A breakfast with bacon and hollandaise, a crispy Parmesan side, and an amazing spring salad. Plus, I'll show you how to pick the best spears, how to store them, and how to pair them like a pro. Please stick around and let me know your favorite asparagus dish in the comments. What should you look for when picking asparagus? When selecting asparagus at the store or the market, we're looking for 2 main things. First off, we want a crisp stalk. So something that's not soggy, but more crispy. Second off, we're looking for an asparagus tip or bud to be fully enclosed. As you can see, this one, it's not blooming. That means it's nice and fresh. This one, on the other hand, may have sat out or been picked a few days earlier, and you could see that it's starting to show signs of not being too fresh. Does size matter? Yes, size does matter. We have a 1/3 inch and thicker asparagus, 1/3 inch and thinner asparagus. Thin asparagus is gonna be more intense in flavor and less watery. So go-to techniques for this one are blanching, serving hot and cold, or maybe incorporating into sauces. The thicker asparagus is going to be more watery and more tender, so this is better for high heat cooking, broiling, braising, grilling. The bigger stalks can handle the heat and still become tender without being too soggy and floppy. How should you store your asparagus? Well, I recommend not storing your asparagus because it can go bad or old really fast. But in the world we live in, sometimes we don't quite have the time to take use of them today. In that case, I recommend treating them like a bouquet of flowers. Here you can see I have a cup that I've filled with water, and then I just put the asparagus root end down like a bouquet of flowers, and then we could store these in the fridge. You could also throw a little plastic bag over the top of the flowers. Let's get cooking. Starting off, we got our breakfast asparagus. This dish is gonna be asparagus with crispy bacon on it, topped with a poached egg and a beautiful hollandaise sauce. And then we're gonna finish that off maybe with a little bit of Parmesan cheese and chives to make it look beautiful. Here's a quick layout of our ingredients. We got our asparagus that's gonna be micro steamed in the microwave. Then we're gonna have our eggs, which we're gonna poach. We're gonna place the bacon into the oven for 15 minutes. And while all that's going on, we're gonna make our hollandaise on the stove top as well. For asparagus prep, I'm just gonna peel off the sides here. Makes the asparagus look a little nicer, and we're not gonna have any tough skin that we're gonna have to cut through. All prepped and ready for the microwave. For these scraps, we can throw them into some kind of sauce, blanch them, or you could add them to any type of stock, vegetable, or chicken stock. To cook the asparagus, we're gonna put it on a plate in a single layer, top it with a triple layer damp paper towel, and we're gonna microwave this for 2 to 4 minutes based on the strength of your microwave, and they should be ready, nice steamed, crunchy, and crispy. Beautiful asparagus, some bacon pieces. One of our poached eggs. There we go. Our first dish is complete. The micro steamed asparagus with crispy oven roasted bacon, a poached egg, hollandaise, chives, and then a little bit of Parmesan on the top. Let's break down what we're tasting now. A little bit of egg, a little bit of bacon, a little bit of asparagus. So delicious. You got that green herbiness from that asparagus, keeping that natural flavor. The bacon gives a little bit of fattiness to the dish. Then we have the egg, and the egg yolk gives it that nice creaminess and kind of a nice full texture. And then the Hollandaise brings it together. It's got that acidity that just pairs beautifully to brighten up the asparagus and the bacon and everything. Hitting. Breakfast like a king. For our second recipe, we're going to be using the oven to cook our asparagus. We got broiled asparagus with the crispy Parmesan breadcrumb topping. Ingredients for this one: we got our asparagus, we got some crispy breadcrumbs. You could use some bread if you have some handy, Parmesan cheese, butter, lemon, and then we are going to use some pantry ingredients like salt, pepper, and olive oil. Our asparagus is all ready. We're just going to add some olive oil over the top. This is going to help lubricate our asparagus and pretty much protect it while it's in the oven, as well as giving it a nicer Maillard browning, giving it more of that flavor that we're looking for. I'm going to put that asparagus on the top rack about 2 inches from the broiler, 8 minutes. Into a food processor, we're going to add our breadcrumbs, 1 tablespoon of butter, salt. Toss our breadcrumbs into the pan, a little bit of butter, and we're going to continuously mix. Let these get nice and brown. Already, these are looking ready. We got a bowl of some grated Parmesan cheese. I'm going to go in with our breadcrumbs. Give them a toss. Yum. Asparagus is ready to come out. Look at that. Look at that. Nice color. Top over our breadcrumbs. Serve that with some lime wedges. Here we got our second dish, broiled asparagus with that crispy Parmesan breadcrumb topping. Now this one's different. It's got a lot more crispiness because of that topping that's on the top. So you're more aware of that tenderness and that juiciness of the asparagus. You can definitely get a lot of that Parmesan, and it's up to you what cheese you want to choose. And then perfect, yeah, the lemon is also very important in this dish because it brings that acidity and gives you that nice mouthfeel. Super simple to make, and it still packs a punch of flavor, I gotta say that. For our final recipe, we're gonna make a spring salad with boiled asparagus. Let me show you guys how it's done. For our ingredients, we got some thinner asparagus, goat cheese, cherry tomatoes, peas, radishes, some quinoa brown rice mixture, walnuts, and then some microgreens. This one just starts like the other ones by peeling your asparagus. Next, we're going to trim these into about 2-inch pieces. Our water's boiling. Asparagus goes in for 3 minutes. Here we got a pan over medium heat. We're going to add in our walnuts. Give them a nice toast. 3 minutes are up. We're going to fish out our asparagus and throw it into the ice bath. Now let your asparagus drain for a little bit if you don't have a salad spinner. Now to plate, we got our brown rice quinoa mixture. Next we could plate our asparagus. Followed by our peas. Then we could plate our radishes. We have our tomatoes. We have a little bit of some microgreens. And finally our goat cheese. And we got our vinaigrette. Can't forget about those toasted walnuts. Here we have our final recipe, fresh spring summer salad with boiled asparagus. Smacznego, my friends. Super excited to dig in. Out of all of them, I think this asparagus is the most crisp by boiling it and then throwing it in that ice bath. It really keeps that nice crispy tenderness. And with the other elements, I think it pairs well. You got the quinoa base for the carbs, kind of gives you that chewy mouth texture. We got the tangy goat cheese that kind of offsets some of the more bitter kind of ingredients. The radish, the tomatoes, all give it a nice refreshing crisp as well, like the asparagus. And then the walnuts give it a nice crunch. I think that you guys can definitely make this one at home using whatever ingredients you have on hand. To recap, we made asparagus with 3 different techniques. We had the micro steamed asparagus breakfast with the bacon, poached egg, hollandaise sauce. Then second off, we have that broiled asparagus in the oven with the delicious crispy Parmesan panko breadcrumb topping. And then finally here, we used boiled asparagus to make a nice fresh and crisp summer salad. So please drop in the comments which recipe you want to try first. And please hit that subscribe and like button if you stayed here to the end. Plenty of more farmer market recipes coming your ways. Please go check out my other channels, my other videos, my other reels, and I'm so excited to bring you guys some more fresh farmers market recipes. I want to be as seasonal as I can with all the ingredients that are coming in. Next up, we're doing rhubarb, so stay tuned for next week. Thank you so much.